The Bell P-39 Airacobra remains one of the most fascinating fighter aircraft of World War II, remembered as both innovative and controversial. Developed by the Bell Aircraft Corporation in the late 1930s, it stood out for its unique design, which placed the engine in the middle of the fuselage behind the pilot. This unconventional layout allowed for a streamlined nose that carried heavy armament, most notably a 37mm cannon that fired through the propeller hub. At the time, this setup was revolutionary, making the P-39 one of the first fighters to combine a powerful cannon with fighter-level agility. When it first flew in 1938, the Airacobra showed great promise. The U.S. Army Air Corps was intrigued by its firepower and modern features, which included tricycle landing gear for better ground handling and an enclosed cockpit that gave it a futuristic look compared to other fighters of the era. However, the aircraft's biggest weakness was the absence of a turbo supercharger. Without it, the P-39 performed poorly at high altitudes, especially above 15,000 feet. This flaw made it less effective in the European theater, where high-altitude dogfights against German aircraft were common. American and British pilots often found themselves at a disadvantage, and as a result, the P-39 quickly gained a mixed reputation in the West. Despite these shortcomings, the Airacobra found a second life on the Eastern Front. Through the Lend-Lease program, thousands of P-39s were sent to the Soviet Union, where they became highly respected. Unlike the Western Allies, Soviet pilots often engaged in combat at lower altitudes, where the Airacobra excelled. Its powerful cannon was devastating against German bombers and ground targets, while its decent speed and maneuverability at low and medium altitudes made it a formidable opponent for Luftwaffe fighters. Some of the top Soviet aces, including Alexander Pokrishkin, achieved dozens of aerial victories flying the P-39, proving that in the right environment, the aircraft could be deadly effective. Another advantage of the Airacobra was its versatility. In addition to air-to-air combat, it was used effectively in ground attack roles. The central engine placement allowed for a sturdy airframe that could take significant punishment, while the nose-mounted cannon and machine guns made it ideal for strafing enemy troops, tanks, and vehicles. Pilots often praised its stability as a gun platform, a trait that many frontline soldiers came to appreciate when Airacobras provided close air support. In terms of numbers, the P-39 was produced in large quantities, with over 9,500 units built between 1940 and 1944. While it never achieved the same fame as the P-51 Mustang or the P-47 Thunderbolt, it played a vital role in various theaters of war. It served not only with the United States and the Soviet Union but also with allied nations such as the Free French and the Australians. Each air force adapted it to its needs, but it was in Soviet hands that the P-39 truly cemented its reputation as a combat-proven aircraft. Today, the P-39 Airacobra is remembered as a plane ahead of its time in some ways and flawed in others. Its innovative mid-engine design influenced future aircraft engineering, and its role in the Soviet air war demonstrated that a fighter's effectiveness depended greatly on how and where it was used. Although overshadowed by more famous Allied fighters, the Airacobra carved its place in history by proving adaptable, lethal at low altitudes, and instrumental in the victories of many ace pilots. It may not have been perfect, but it remains an icon of aviation history and a reminder that even unconventional designs can leave a lasting impact. Would you like me to make this article more in a YouTube script style with hooks, engaging phrases, and storytelling flow, so it feels like narration for a video instead of a written article?